that this innkeeper needs, ek gaan dit in Afrikaans ook sê, die laaste ding wat hy nodig het, is 'n probleem. Want kyk, alles is mos gerus, alles is rustig, hy is bederf. And the last thing that he wants is a problem. Nou kom jy hier met die mense wat nou so stukken is. No man, we don't want them here, but Christ says, bring them. He says, bring them and take care of them. Now, I don't know if you've been, okay, let's not go there. But there's no need daar gaan, I'll keep it for the end. So the last thing that he needs is a problem. And I don't know if you've noticed in life, but it's always when things seem to be going well. Dit is altyd as iets net so mooi soos heuning loop, dan kom die besigheid, dan kom die gevalle, dan kom die nood. It's not something that you're worried about, it's something that happens on a Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock when you least expect it. And Jesus says, take care of him. But let's go back to the Bible. So, in verse 35, he says, here's 2 pence, take them, and take care of him, and whatsoever you spendeth more, when I come again, I will repay. I will repay. So, this innkeeper now has been tasked with the ability, with the challenge to take care of this man. Now, the problem is, initially, he did not want to. He did not want to, because until you acknowledge that God has every right to give you whatever problem he deems worthy. There was a wonderful, who read that text verse this morning? I think it's my brother over here with the glasses. It was actually my opening text, so I had to change my opening text. It said, 1 Corinthians 10:13, there hath no temptation taken you, but such that is common to man. But God is faithful. So listen now, listen to the story. So if God gives you the problem, okay, this is the psalm. If he gives you the problem, right, and you cannot handle it, then that means that God is not faithful. But let me say it to you better. As die Here dit stuur, jy moet besef dat die Here dit klaar gevat, hy het dit geweeg, hy het dit reggestel, because remember, before the problem comes, Christ attended to it. Before he took him to the church, he fixed it, he bound it up, he poured on the wine and the oil. So any problem that he brings to you, he's already sorted it out, number one. Number two, if the problem is more than what you can handle, God is not faithful. Did you hear what I said? If the problem is more than what you can handle, God is not faithful. The issue of the text is not about you. The issue on the text is about God. Is he faithful? And because he is faithful, he will not allow you to be tempted more than what you are able. So back to this businessman now. You know, he says, I will repay. So he's checking out bandages, 400 rand, extra care to help the guy for 3 days, he comes in a week, that's 3,500 rand. And he starts counting up all the things for the Samaritan to pay. But the Samaritan, hy kom net nie uit nie. En hier is hy nou gesit met die man. And the money starts accumulating, and over time, the innkeeper says, you know what, ek gaan nie meer boekhou nie, man. Ek gaan nie meer boekhou nie vir wat ek doen nie. I'm going to do it out of the goodness of my heart. And it is only once you reach that point, when you do it out of the goodness of your heart, that is when God leads us to repentance. Remember that verse in, I think it's Romans 8:28, 29? It is the goodness of God that leads us to repentance. So, He says, I will repay. He repays with everlasting life. He repays with streets made of gold. One day the redeemed will stand on the sea of glass, and they will be there and they will see their Maker face to face. Listen, my brother, this is not a joke or a dead God that we are serving. This is a living God. You see in the trumpets that was there, God showed us everything that was going to happen before. And if he was right about the trumpets and Daniel, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece and Rome, if everything in the Bible has systematically been fulfilled, what makes you think that in the end, when we live forever and have immortal bodies, that's not also going to be there? Who said? So, I was thinking, that time is running, but I want to share with you what I've been working on. I've been an elder for about three odd years, and I've been doing medical missionary now for quite a few. And I was always wondering, when do we actually have time, and when is the coming of Christ, and how far are we in Earth's history? So if you have a look over here, you can see this is the creation. Maybe I can come stand down, seeing as we're going to end soon. So as you can see here, this is the time from Adam and Canaan and Michael. You can see here, what is this age that they were living to over here? 930, 905, 912. And then here we have the date of the flood. And they were actually living and growing very, very tall. Okay? So, what is the oldest person today? We had a birthday at 80. If we were to take everybody's ages here, how much do you think it would be? Let's talk about 70 per person, and there's about a church of like just under 100 people maybe. So let's say about 800 years of wisdom within this church right now. Here's one person that is 900. So I was thinking maybe I could map it out on a timeline to see exactly where we are in the geschiedenis. So, I'm a bit too far now. Here we go. Here you can see that in the beginning their diet was mainly fruits, vegetables, legume and nuts, and this was the result of that. And as God introduced, you were a bit too timid there. I know I don't want to talk about this as a touchy subject. But the minute when God introduced that beautiful leg of lamb with garlic butter and rosemary leaf gently dripping down on a wonderful mint gravy, amen? You see that the man became shorter. Hey, check at this. This is a nice representation here about the degeneration of man. I want you all to imprint this in your minds. And one of the biggest things that God used to make the lifespan of man shorter, because man was always evil continually, was to introduce fleshly foods to his diet. So I was thinking about all these things, and this prophecy as well about the times. We've got all this 457, we've got 34, we've got 538 to 1,260 days, and I was putting all this information together. And then I saw one of this Walter Fight DVDs. Who all knows Walter Fight over here? Here we go. So one of the DVDs, a guy by the name of Albert Pike theorized 3 world wars, and he wrote this letter to Monsini. In the First World War and the Second World War. Now the third one is what I want to talk about. We've only got about 3 minutes left, but this is quite exciting things that I'm sharing here. It is supposed to be between radical Islam and fundamental Christianity. That is supposed to be who the Third World War is supposed to be between. Check this out. So, okay, this you can't see so nicely here. I wonder. So, if we take Christ's death, in which year did Christ die? Who knows? The answer is here, but I'm sure you can't. Can you see that? Christ died? 31, okay? So if you take AD 31 and you go backwards to creation, to 4,000 years, you get 4,031. So from 4,031 to AD 31 is about 4,000 years. You can see that's there, that's 4,000 years from creation to the cross. We're almost done, we're wrapping it up, right? And then we've got from the cross, AD 31 to 2031. That is in 12 years' time, right? That will give you 2,000 years. So we're all together, we're almost done. We're finishing up now, right? So we've got 4,000 years from creation till Christ's death, and we've got 2,000 years from AD 31 to 2031, and then the 1,000 years in heaven. So all plus 2,000 plus 1,000 is 7,000 years for the earth history. So very interesting. I don't know if you can see this here, but we've got between, what's the, which year are we in now? Say again, I can't hear you. 2019. So from 2019 to 2031, we've got about 12 years. And we know by the spirit of prophecy, there's a time of trouble such as never was. We've got the National Sunday Law, we've got latter rain, close of probation, and then the 7 plagues, and then somewhere after that we've got the second coming. So we're talking about 12 years. That's not a lot of time. And do you think the way that the world is going today, that there probably could be something to do with the world? But mind you, that this was written in 1871, that they theorized 3 world wars. Quite interesting.